Hey everybody, the purpose of this video is to walk you through our cross-curricular assignment or our interdisciplinary PE lesson. Before we start, I just have to say that you take the time to do this assignment, understand how important it is. This is going to be a job winner for you in the future. The fact that you can display your skills and talk about your experiences doing cross-curricular work is just a way to put yourself ahead of other candidates when you interview for jobs. If you can emphasize to a principal that you're invested in the whole child, which right now that's the strategic plan in Ohio, above and beyond, it just is going to separate you, which might sound like something that's common sense, but most PE programs don't do this, and it's why it's so important for you to showcase your ability to do that in the future. Ideally, we would have wanted you to teach this lesson, but at the very least, you're going to develop the resources and be able to speak to it moving forward. Okay, so this module, again, interdisciplinary, cross-curricular, those are just two kind of synonyms for what we're talking about here. You could really call it either. So there's a 1 through 7 outline of what I'd like you to do. So the first thing you're going to do, I want you to have an understanding visually what we're going for before you even do the fine details of the assignment. So the first thing I want you to do is open some of the examples below. And when you open those examples, you're just going to see that what I'm asking is for you are not creating a lesson plan, like a written lesson plan like you typically do. Not with our format, not with somebody else's format. This is not create a lesson plan template. And to be honest, if you slide a lesson plan across the desk during an interview, 99 out of 100 principals aren't going to care about that. They're not going to read it. You have to have those skills anyways. This is to showcase your ability to show the resources that's going to set you apart. So when you click on those examples, they're just going to give you different visuals. Now, this might not mean anything to you yet, but I want you to start here in kind of understanding that you're going to create these things before you go through all the assignment directions. Okay, so I just did number 1. I know now I'm not creating a lesson plan template. The next thing I want you to think about, since you're going to make a lesson, again, not the lesson plan, think games, tasks, different challenges. What kind of teaching style are you comfortable with? So I'm going to circle us back to something that we've done this semester, which is different teaching styles. So that is linked right here, the PowerPoint, and it'll take you, you might not be able to get all the videos because it's a PDF, but it'll at least give you visual representation of these different teaching styles. So what do you like and how are you comfortable teaching? How might you envision a cross-curricular lesson plan lining up with these different styles? All right, so you might have a few ideas in your head. The next thing, it's really a chicken or the egg thing, and this is completely up to you, but what is the PE content that you're going to include in this lesson? Is it going to be based around a standard? Is it going to be based around a skill theme like throwing or catching? So you can get those things going first in your head, like, oh, I really think I would like to do a kicking lesson. You can start there. Or you might be more inspired to think of like the interdisciplinary content area first, such as, boy, I would really like to do something with science. Either way, which you determine first doesn't matter because they're going to end up being paired together anyways. All right, so brainstorm. Multiple different ideas, pairing up different, again, things that you think you might want to try. Math and fitness, throwing and literacy. Do not write down formal plans. Don't write a lesson plan. Don't do anything like that, but just kind of think through in your head, what do you want to pair with the PE content? What PE content might you want to have included? And then what kind of ways might this game play out? Is it a full-scale game where it's a large class, or are they station-based? So have all these ideas kind of in your head, and the more you have, the better. Because what you're going to take that brainstorm and do is you're going to schedule a chat with me. So that's going to happen on before Tuesday or Wednesday, because I want to give you enough time. And we can FaceTime and basically just talk through your ideas and your brainstorm and what you think you might want to do. Um, I'll be here to support you along the way and basically say, like, hey, yeah, that's a great idea, or ooh, you picked multiplication and that's a kindergarten skill theme. Those don't really align, so you're going to either need to change the interdisciplinary math concepts, or you're going to need to bump up the physical PE standards. So I'm here to help you with that and talk ideas out. When you leave your virtual meeting with me, where you go from there is you're going to create the resources and you're going to create a visual representation of the game. So those are two things that you're basically going to make. So example, let's say I am doing a kindergarten lesson based with fitness. My resources that I need are these kindergarten words. So this is 27 pages. This is something that I created. These are age-appropriate kindergarten words from a kindergarten word sheet. And this is when I was teaching elementary school. So speaking with the classroom teachers, all of these words on these lists were specifically for the kiddos in my school. I just used Keynote and I basically wrote the letters out, and the size is very intentional because that's the perfect size of a Scrabble tile. And that's what, in my game or in my PE lesson, the job of the students was to get Scrabble tiles and then they place them in their hula hoop on these word sheets. So this is the resource that I created. Does yours have to be literacy? Absolutely not. But one of the things you do in this assignment is create the resource that you would be able to bring your lesson to life. So that's the first thing. And you might need more than one. And it might not be 27 pages. You might need a couple of different things. The second thing you make for this assignment is a visual representation of what your lesson will look like. Again, I don't want you to write a lesson plan. A principal doesn't care about that lesson plan. But what does matter is when you slide that across the table and you say, oh, I love to incorporate math and literacy into my PE lessons. Here's an example of how I do that. And you slide this across the table and you basically say that this is a level-based game and the kid's job in this game is to basically build words using Scrabble tiles. This game also has math in it. So when the students roll their die, they have to have number sense and they match up the number that they rolled to a fitness activity. And when they complete their fitness activity, they do another number sense. They match the die. And then in the next level, they roll 2 die with a buddy. And the first person who adds their numbers together gets to climb to the next level. And that's how many box jumps they do. And after that, they roll again and they get a Scrabble tile and they run all the way back and then they put it on their word list. So this is my PE lesson. That's how it would unfold, and that's something that I could talk about or reference should I be in an interview and want to celebrate how I teach cross-curricularly. So since you're not creating a lesson plan, you're going to create a visual for your lesson. This basically has to tell your story of how your lesson would work. So when you and I talk about your lesson, we might talk about ideas of how you could show that on a piece of paper. But this is the big gym. This is the flow of traffic. These are all the pieces of equipment that are out there. And that kind of tells my story. So those are the two things that you create. And that is basically the assignment. Who knows, even better, you might get this professional internship and get to teach this lesson and have a video of it as well. So that is hands down to me one of the best bargaining chips you can leave this program with, and I hope you put a lot of thought into it, and I'm excited to talk brainstorm ideas with you. At this graphic right here is just to point out to you, hey, Ohio is serious about this whole child, and it's the best thing we can do for kids. So reach out, and I'm excited to work with you.